Hello, I'm Dana Hershey. There is a weary cliche, often applied to comedians and comic actors, that their humor and their exceptional abilities to be funny were developed at an early age to mask some childhood trauma. It is, of course, not always true, yet like most cliches, it is often painfully accurate. Such is the case for Dudley Moore, who at an early age, growing up in World War II London, was bombed, bullied, and hospitalized. For the first time in numerous conversations we have had together, Dudley talked about his childhood. The occasion was the release of the long-awaited sequel to 1981's hit Arthur. Arthur 2, On the Rocks.
Good evening, Mr. Bach.
Andre, my man, put it there.
Your wife's been waiting for you, sir.
Oh, yeah, I know I'm late. You better go on ahead and remove all the knives from our table.
I don't think that will be necessary, sir.
Oh, it wouldn't be so sure. Darling, I'm sorry I'm late. It was Bitterman's fault. He insisted we stop off at this tawdry boutique and buy...
Miss Charming, over here.
I think I have more chance of being forgiven at this table. Maybe not. Excuse me. I'm sorry, Merry Christmas.
Why is it taking so long for the sequel?
Well, we never had one that really seemed right. And then Andy Breckman, who is a great fan of Steve Gordon, who did the first one, came up with an idea and a script that we thought was terrific. And that's why.
All right, here we go.
Though without question a star in her own right, of course, she has followed closely in the footsteps of her mother, perhaps too closely. Just as Judy Garland wowed Hollywood and sold out Broadway, so too has daughter Liza Minnelli. Yet tragically, not only it seems did she inherit her mother's talent, but also Garland's proclivity for drug and alcohol abuse. Having spent a great deal of well-publicized time at the Betty Ford Clinic, Liza Minnelli seems to have at last pulled herself together. She looks terrific, bright and enthusiastic, buoyed by her encore performance as Dudley Moore's one and only in the aforementioned Arthur 2, On the Rocks.
You taught me how to be rich, right? I'll teach you how to be poor. It's really easy. It's exactly the same thing. You just do it in fewer rooms. Look, lesson number 1.
Hold on now.
Yeah, this is how poor people comfort each other. And now this is how poor people say, I love you. I love you. See, they can't give each other yachts or condominiums.
Oh, well, blimey, no wonder there's so many of them.
Why did you decide to do the sequel?
Because Dudley called me and said, read this. He said, I think you're going to like it, and I really did. I was tremendously surprised by it.
Oh! Hi.
Hi, I spoke to you earlier today on the phone about the apartment.
What?
I spoke to you earlier today on the telephone about the apartment for rent.
Oh, yes. About the apartment.
Yes, I'm Linda Bach, and this is my husband, Arthur.
Yeah, she'll be doing...
Speak up, honey.
Oh, she'll be doing all the talking. I can't be trusted. Don't yell. Right.
Are there certain actors like Dudley? Obviously, he's one actor that you have a certain chemistry with. Are there other actors that you've worked with in the past that you have a special kind of chemistry immediately with?
You mean besides Dudley?
Besides Dudley, yeah, besides this one. Yeah.
Well, I enjoyed so much working with Burt Reynolds and Michael York. Gosh, so many people. But I think that my friend Robert De Niro and I had a very good time when we did New York, New York.
'Cause you brought a new kind of love to me. Oh, you brought a new kind of love to me.
Because there was a lot of improvisation. And sometimes that's different than reading lines. You really have to have an understanding of each other to do that.
That film, interestingly enough, didn't really do that well at the box office, did it?
No, not at first, but I think in the long run, it keeps coming back. It keeps coming back like a song. You know?
It's become kind of a cult favorite now, as a matter of fact, a lot of fun.
And I think when they put the big musical piece back on the end, the part that Martin Scorsese always wanted in there, in fact, it was the first thing that was shot, it balanced the movie out better. It's an interesting movie. I mean, I'm so proud to be a part of that.
It struck me this morning when I was thinking about it that you have lived your entire life with celebrity.
Yes.
I mean, you've never been anonymous.
I know.
I mean, have you ever thought to yourself, ever wondered, just wanted to be anonymous someday, just to be
No,
Joe's
well,
citizen?
you know something, I am a lot of the time, like in New York, and when I go on vacation, I put on a baseball cap and I go.
Oh,
you
come
know.
on now.
No, but I
you
can.
can get away with that?
Yeah. Oh, I do. It's how I survive.
And people don't recognize you when you go out?
Yeah, but if they do, they're swell. I mean,
Yeah.
they're really nice. It's, hi, how you doing? You know, and you just keep moving.
What's the biggest misconception about Liza Minnelli?
I think that people have always tried, that the press has tried to make me sound bigger than I am. You know what I mean? I mean, if I do something, it always sounds so damn splashy, you know, and it's not, you know, it just isn't.
But you are pretty big. I mean,
But I think it's a little bit of a misconception. You know, I find that the biggest comment I get when I meet people after about an hour is, gee, you're just like everybody else. You know, it's a funny thing to keep hearing.
I was 21 when I first saw Liza Minnelli play Pookie Adams in The Sterile Cuckoo, a neurotic misfit who falls hopelessly and obsessively in love with a quiet college kid. I have been a fan ever since. It's good to see her healthy. Back in a moment with Jim Belushi, co-star of this summer's Red Hot, Red Heat.
I'm shooting a gun.